Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Market Insider TV. It is Friday morning, September the 14th. Thanks for joining us this morning as we look at overnight trade and news affecting the markets this morning. Overnight, corn fractionally higher, soybeans about a penny higher, while meal is lower, and the wheat futures are leading a little bit of a bounce here. They're extremely oversold, no doubt, closing below the $4 mark in December Chicago wheat yesterday. They did manage to close 7 to 8.5 cents better in the overnight trade. Now, the pattern has been for wheat in the overnight to rally and then falter as the day progresses. And let's see if we can break that pattern going into the weekend. It should be a fairly active harvest weekend for producers across the Midwest. Warm temperatures, dry weather, and not much rain until next weekend. So we expect to see quite a bit of harvest progress ongoing. Hope you had a chance to look at last night's Market Insider TV, our closing segment, as we talked about what's going on in the cattle markets from a technical standpoint, live and feeder cattle, and possible bottoms in the grain markets based off of weekly charts. So good look there, and hope you take a chance to check that out. Now let's look at what's going on in the markets overnight. No private export sale announcements this morning. We did have some sales earlier this week, so we've had a very strong, active week of export business. However, nothing to report today. September grain futures contract expires today at noon Central Time, so you should not be long the September grains. If you are still short, you do need to make arrangements to get out of that by noon today. Iraq is tendering for 50,000 metric tons of U.S., Canadian, or Australian wheat, and the U.S. could get some of this business as Iraq is a known customer of the U.S. All right, so not much going on in the grains as far as news here. We should see a little technical bounce in the cattle market. We haven't seen any cash cattle trade yet, but I think we're going to. Bids are surfacing last night at 172 in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa versus offers 174. The feedlots are asking 112 in the south. We haven't seen really any bids there yet. But I think we will start to see something develop as the trade day goes on. Net beef sales, this is a negative here. They were down last week, 55% from the prior week, and less than half of the 4-week average. So real disappointment in the net beef sales, but there was a little bit of a positive, and that is steer weights dropped 1 pound from a week ago, and they're now 2 pounds less than a year ago, and this keeps tonnage off the market. But we got to have those export markets open, and we have to be selling our beef because we just have too much supply to use domestically. So that's key to watch. That's what sold the market off yesterday. Cattle look to be a little stronger here this morning on the opening. Hog market, maybe a dime better is the calls so far. All right, that's what we have for you today. Hope this helps you out. Hope you have a great day of trade. Brian Hoops from Midwest Markets. Give us a call and let us know how your yields are coming out. And if you have any questions on markets, we'll be glad to answer them. Take care.